Hello, New York City Transit fans and New York City Transit employees, and welcome to the review of the 1997 to 1998 Novabus RTS-06 review. And these RTSs came into New York City as the second Novabus RTS ordered for MTA history. Fleet numbers ranges from 9350 to 9699. 9350 to 9524 were 1997 models. 9525 to 9699 were 1998 models. Moving on to the depot assignments, that they were originally delivered to Queens Village Depot, Flatbush Depot, Gun Hill Depot, Hudson Pier Depot, which was shut down in 2003 and replaced by Micheal J.Quill Depot. Then they were also delivered to Jamaica Depot, Fresh Pond, the Westside Depot, which is converted into today's Micheal J.Quill Depot, and finally Kingsbridge Depot. Moving on to their powertrain is that these buses, they signify the use of the Series 50 double DEC engine along with the Allison VR731 transmission, and together they sounded like In 1998, 95% of these RTSs were delivered that year, and a few more were delivered in 1999 other than 1997. All of these units were delivered with black trimming throughout its doors and window, along with the alcohol rims, just like the previous orders of the 1996 and the 1993 to 1994 TMC RTSs. 9350 to 9524 were originally delivered with American seating surfaced with cloth padded inserts. 9444 was the most popular RTS since its delivery and through the end of its service lifetime. Thereby, it was originally given the ZF EcoMat transmission, making it the first RTS in history to have a ZF transmission. Plus, it was the only RTS unit in this series to be given the hand-over LED signage. These features it was given matches the 1999 RTSs with ZF transmission and the LED displays retrofitted to them in 2010, until they got retired out of Ulmer Park Depot in 2019. Driving to 9656, this unit was caught on fire shortly after it was delivered under Kingsbridge Depot's roof. Therefore, there was a 1999 RTS order that was originally numbered as 9700 as a discreetly demo RTS hybrid. When it was a hybrid, it was originally running with the Cummins ISB with about 6 liters and the Allison hybrid drive. Then it was later renumbered to 9656 to replace the original one that was burnt, and was repowered with the Detroit Diesel Series 50 and the Lockheed Martin hybrid drive. Until the worst climax, it was later totaled in a colossal accident in 2008, resulting for it to be scrapped. In December of 2008, Flatbush Depot had a major crisis with one of these units. There was a 1998 model 9666 that had Edwin Thomas, who was murdered over an anti-bus transfer response to a 20-year-old passenger while he was operating this bus on the B46 local to Williamsburg Bridge Plaza Terminal. Because of this crime scene, the MTA and the Department of Buses ordered this bus to no longer be seen in service because of this traumatic history. But eventually, that bus was transferred to Queens Village Depot in Queens and was caught running the service in that borough. 2 weeks later, 9644 was in a head-on collision with Ladder 103 in Brownsville. Then it was instantly scrapped. Speaking of another borough, Yukon Depot in Staten Island had these sets of these buses in 2007. Their route of the S61 was mainly the convenient run route for these series of RTSs. Until 2010, these RTSs were instantly sent to Ulmer Park Depot. Since 2010, I have been riding these buses more times at a Flatbush Depot. At a Flatbush Depot, I mostly rode these buses on the B46 and a few on the B41 and B49. In 2011, I had the best RTS ride with 9614 on the B46. While riding it to Kings Plaza, its takeoff shows itself the engine combination that positively roughs it up. Even the rear axles made a little whine sound in it, plus some units like 9612 makes a tough run with its powertrain. Besides Flatbush Depot, Grand Avenue Depot's units were the next sets I saw since 2010 within 2 years after this depot opened in 2008. I mostly see these on the B47 and rode them. Especially, I also see these series of RTSs out of Ulmer Park Depot, but mostly I rode them on the B6 route. Until January 2013, Fresh Pond Depot has the B7 route since it was dispatched out of East New York Depot. A month later that year, I had rode 9600 on the B7, which was my first 1998 model on this route. It was my father, his best friend, and I riding this bus to Halsey Street to catch the J train to Flushing Avenue to help his friend get into Woodhall Hospital as her workplace. Months later into my first year of middle school, and since then, I rode these a few times more than which sounds beautifully good out of their powertrain along Kings Highway. At the same time experiencing these at a Fresh Pond Depot, some of these series of RTSs like 9570 went back to Staten Island to supplement a shortage of Yukon Depot's fleet because of their Orion 5s that were sent out for repairs and the next generation hybrids going out for overhaul. This makes Yukon Depot the only depot to have RTSs and also the last depot of Staten Island to have RTSs also, as well. Zooming all the way to 2016, little sets of these series of RTSs had transferred to LaGuardia Depot for MTA Bus Company supplement. Those were 9383 and 9384. In March 2016, this became a moment where Fresh Pond Depot were no longer seen with RTSs on the B7 route. Here's a causation of why Fresh Pond Depot ran out of these RTSs to run. Starting all the way back in 2010, these RTSs were notorious for wheelchair lift mechanisms being stuck. And these wheelchair lifts were untransparent, delaying the compliancy for ADA support. Since 2015, these RTSs were starting to retire rapidly by 7%, and most are retired in early 2017. This leaves 9511 and 9671 left in service that year since the big retirement in Grand Avenue Depot, leaving this depot to be the only depot to have this series of RTSs. Until the middle of 2018, 9674 was the very last RTS, 1998 RTS to last and eventually retire. Now moving on to the analytics. These series of RTSs were the rising popular RTSs I would like to connect with. With effort to surpass the 1996 RTSs, they are being offered to give portrayals of their younger siblings from 1999. In fact, 9444 was the only RTSs in this series to remind us of Micheal J.Quill's RTSs in modern times with the LED signage and the Allison transmission it serves. But during its delivery times, it serves to remind us of the RTSs of Ulmer Park Depot by being given the ZF transmission. But on the other hand, I have a feeling that these series of RTSs are the second most critical fleets since the orders of the 1983 GMC RTS-04s. Until through their times of retirement, they were located in the depots of Brooklyn and Queens that performed great quality maintenance, which is why I saw most of these being seen as a clean RTSs in appearance. Those are what I saw from riding them in Ulmer Park Depot, Flatbush Depot, Fresh Pond, and Grand Avenue Depot running with cleanse. Now, with the past year of 2018, it became the great year where the last 1998 RTS like 9674 had to end the era for us in a long-lasting life. Overall, this series of RTSs get a rate of 8.6 out of 10. So now thanks for watching, like, comment, share, subscribe, and get back your memories of these 1997 to 1998 series of RTSs as they are remembered as the second Novabus RTS in MTA history.
Cause I've been acting like sour milk all on the floor. It's your fault you didn't shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's the reason I've been acting so cold. If I could escape and recreate a place that's my own world, and I could be your favorite girl forever, perfectly together. And tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? If I could be sweet. I know I've been a real bad girl. Make it better and tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? I wanna get away to our sweet escape. I wanna get away If I could be sweet